mean, that's a problem that's much bigger than Monsanto. Are we really going to be a society that says profit matters more than human life, more than the future of the environment and the food system for our children?
Yeah.
And I think it's becoming so clear that we can't be, but industries and billionaires are desperate to keep their hold on the power that they have. That's, I think, another story of the Monsanto papers. They really take it quite far.
I wanted to go back to one of the tactics that Monsanto used for a second, because you mentioned the ghostwriting papers, and I laughed at myself when I wrote that, because immediately I thought of rappers, having songs ghostwritten for them. That's the only time I've ever heard ghostwriting used in relation to, any form of content, is when, someone wants to pay a writer behind the scenes, they write the song, the artist takes credit for it, boom, you're a ghostwriter. Like, is that what's happening? Like, is Monsanto literally approaching scientists or people that are capable of writing scientific papers and saying, hey, make sure this paper turns out this way. We won't put our name on it. Like, you put your name on it and take credit for it. Is that what's happening essentially?
Yes, essentially. And they talk about it almost that directly, in the emails. There'll be a case where, there's a problem in the science. Scientists are concerned about some aspect of glyphosate. So let's have a paper saying it's not a problem. We need to get a good scientist to write it. They hired, in one case, a scientist. They didn't like what he wrote, so they went looking for another one. There was a case where they were writing a paper, working very hard on it. There were emails saying, we worked so hard on this, I lost sleep working on this. Now the hard work begins of public affairs. So the promotion of this paper. And then you look at the paper and there's no indication that Monsanto was involved at all. It would say no conflicts of interest. That was when these emails came out, some of that was updated with disclosures. But a lot of the science in the public record, and really especially on genetic engineering, proponents will talk about thousands of studies show it's safe. Well, thousands of studies have mostly focused on performance and technical aspects, certainly not holistic long-term studies really trying to understand what the consequences are for health and the environment. Or they'll suspect that, there might be a problem if we genetically engineer seeds to resist dicamba. That's an older, more toxic pesticide, because there's a big problem with dicamba drifting from farm to farm. So you can see in the documents that Monsanto scientists stated that concern, went ahead and pushed anyway for approval of dicamba-resistant seeds, and pushed those seeds on farmers, and millions of acres of farmland across the U.S. were decimated by this drifting pesticide. So they knew, they did it anyway. It's all about the profit stream and the short-term view of how a company fares to its shareholders. And I mean, that's a problem that's much bigger than Monsanto. Are we really going to be a society that says profit matters more than human life, more than the future of the environment and the food system for our children?
Yeah.
And I think it's becoming so clear that we can't be, but industries and billionaires are desperate to keep their hold on the power that they have. So that's, I think, another story of the Monsanto papers. They really take it quite far.